people wanted more gameplay. So
Yeah, they
that's
do. Yeah,
that's
they do.
that's this. So this is not really to highlight any particular feature of the game or any particular aspect. This is just me playing a battle and in Normandy. So it's a very different style map. We can see the hedgerows. We can see a farmhouse over next to the street over there, which is going to be the central point of this particular battle. And the enemy is going to try and attack me and take it from me. I've mostly infantry, but I got some armored units as well. So I got 3 tanks available to me, and they're going to be providing mostly fire support. They're not ideal for hedgerow combat, but you know, against infantry, even the machine guns are very, very useful as well. So we can see the Germans advancing on my location. I'm trying to shoot at them from behind the hedgerows, so I'm very difficult to spot for them. So it's very hard for them to return fire at this point while they are advancing. So that's always going to be the tricky part. They are closing in though, and you can see they're closing in from different locations and all moving towards that farmhouse. So that's going to be the main point of contention here. Meanwhile, I'm moving in some of my reserves, bringing them up to the front to get some more firepower on there, and just trying to do as much damage before they come close enough to really have some accurate directed fire. And this is where I actually spotted the enemy Marder, which is a anti-tank unit that the Germans have, and it's very lethal, so it's going to be very dangerous for my tanks. And it's in a position where it's going to be very, very hard to flank it. So that's going to be fairly dangerous to deal with. So meanwhile, we see actually the AI deploying some smoke to block my line of sight, line of fire, so they can move in close. They're bringing in more units. They're really going for it. More smoke being deployed next to the building now. And the guys inside the building, they're basically fighting for their lives. They're under a lot of stress. They're certainly the heroes of my battle here. I would give them some huge awards if I could. So they are starting to suffer some casualties, and you can see I'm also moving back my tank, because tanks can be very, very vulnerable to close-up infantry. They might toss grenades at it, they might damage it. So it's not that they would be completely destroyed, but they can definitely take some damage. So I'm going to move them back slightly and just again position them so that their machine guns can do most of the firing. So it looks now that the Germans are bringing up their anti-tank gun, which is going to be fairly dangerous for me, so I need to find a way to respond to it. Again, it's very difficult terrain for armored vehicles, so it's going to be hard to flank it. Some more combat going on. If people are wondering what all those blue cones mean, they're basically stating that the unit is on a defend order in that particular direction, so that's where the fire is being directed. The green circles around the individuals indicate the level of cover, and again, these are things you can turn on and off and tweak yourself based on how you want to experience the game. So I'm trying to move up one of my tanks to engage the anti-tank gun, and I want to engage it, and I'm using one of my infantry guys who were, well, let's assume they were volunteers, to draw away some fire from my tank, so to get the attention of the AT gun. So they're going to be running in, getting close, and trying to move in there. So here's some rotating of the map showcase. Again, that's something that's very new to the series, and thanks to the 3D engine we got here. So I move my guns, I'm hiding them, and I'm going to sneak up close. The Marder is an unprotected vehicle, so I'm hoping to get up close and get some grenades, but in doing so I get flanked, and an enemy MG42 is just killing, I think, 4 of my guys instantly. So that was a very, very bloody affair. Other than that, the guys in the house are still holding, so overall I'm quite happy, and I got some additional rifle grenades trying to suppress the Marder. My tank is not getting a good aim though at the enemy Marder, so I struggle to take it out. So that's going to be rather tricky. And actually my tank gets hit here, so we can just see it blow up. The crew is trying to evacuate. We can see the tank catching fire, and I lost my engagement with the Marder, which was this is probably the worst way to engage a thing like that. So a good lesson. Meanwhile, my infantry is managing to move up close though, and they're going to start tossing grenades at the martyr to try and disable it. So I got one guy over here who's the sole survivor of his squad, and I got a second squad coming in. One of the things worth noting though is that while this is happening, obviously the enemy is still trying to take that farmhouse, but my well-positioned machine guns are ensuring that that's very difficult for them to do. So they're taking a lot of casualties, and their morale is close to breaking, as you can see for the morale bar at the top of the screen. So now my grenades have actually successfully damaged the martyr so far that is tracked, so it can no longer rotate. And the martyr, it doesn't have a dedicated turret, so it's stuck facing one particular direction. So it's pretty safe now for my other tanks to move in and finish it off. So that was quite successful. While I'm doing that, I'm going to start moving up my troops more, perhaps getting ready for a counter-offensive. And we are again very close to breaking the enemy here and finishing the battle, or at least this particular round of this battle. Let's see if we can get the final shot in here. Still alive, unfortunately. There's still some enemies trying to take my central position, but there the martyr blows up, and that's pretty much the end of the enemy forces. So this was a little bit of a more casual battle, if you will, of what a battle could look like. Again, depending on your force selection, depending on your tactics or strategy or your objectives within the campaign, it might play out very, very differently for you. So you got the morale here of the enemy is broken. They're actually already retreating, so it's up to you now if you want to continue to move in and try and push up and gain some more ground before the battle actually finishes.